The Cruelest Month by Louise Penny. This book contains the following dedication. For my brother Rob and his wonderful family, Audie, Kim, Adam, and Sarah, with love. Chapter 1. Kneeling in the fragrant moist grass of the village green, Clara Morrow carefully hid the Easter egg and thought about raising the dead, which she planned to do right after supper. Wiping a strand of hair from her face, she smeared bits of grass, mud, and some other brown stuff that might not be mud into her tangled hair. All around, villagers wandered with their baskets of brightly coloured eggs, looking for the perfect hiding places. Ruth Zardo sat on the bench in the middle of the green, tossing the eggs at random, though occasionally she'd haul off and peg someone in the back of the head or on the bottom. She had disconcertingly good aim for someone so old and so nuts, thought Clara. "You going tonight?" Clara asked, trying to distract the old poet from taking aim at Monsieur Beliveau. "Are you kidding? Live people are bad enough. Why would I want to bring one back from the dead?" With that, Ruth whacked Monsieur Beliveau in the back of his head. Fortunately, the village grocer was wearing a cloth cap. It was also fortunate that he had great affection for the white-haired ramrod on the bench. Ruth chose her victims well. They were almost always people who cared for her. Normally, being pelted by a chocolate Easter egg wouldn't be a big deal, but these weren't chocolate. They'd made that mistake only once. A few years earlier, when the village of Three Pines first decided to have an egg hunt on Easter Sunday, there'd been great excitement. The villagers met at Olivier's bistro, and over drinks and brie they divvied up bags of chocolate eggs to be hidden the next day. Oohs and ahs tinged with envy filled the air. Would that they were children again. But their pleasure would surely come from seeing the faces of the village children. Besides, the kids might not find them all, especially those hidden behind Olivier's bar. "They're gorgeous." Gabri picked up a tiny marzipan goose, delicately sculpted, then bit its head off. "Gabri!" His partner Olivier yanked what was left of the goose from Gabri's massive hand. "They're for the kids." "You just want it for yourself." Gabri turned to Myrna and muttered so that everyone could hear. "Great idea. Gay men offering chocolates to children. Let's alert the moral majority." Blonde and bashful, Olivier blushed furiously. Myrna smiled. She looked like a massive Easter egg herself, black and oval, and wrapped in a brilliant purple and red caftan. Most of the tiny village was at the bistro, crowded around the long bar of polished wood, though some had flopped down in the comfortable old armchairs scattered about. All for sale. Olivier's was also an antique shop. Discreet tags dangled from everything, including Gabri when he felt underappreciated and underapplauded. It was early April, and fires crackled cheerily in the open grates, throwing warm light on the wide plank pine floors, stained amber by time and sunlight. Waiters moved effortlessly through the beamed room, offering drinks and soft, runny brie from Monsieur Paget's farm. The bistro was at the heart of the old Quebec village, sitting as it did on the edge of the green. On either side of it, and attached by connecting doors, were the rest of the shops, hugging the village in an aged brick embrace. Monsieur Bellevau's general store, Sarah's boulangerie, then the bistro, and finally, just off that, Myrna's livre, neuf et usagé. 3 craggy pines had stood at the far end of the green for as long as anyone remembered, like wise men who'd found what they were looking for. Outward from the village, dirt roads radiated and meandered into the mountains and forests. But Three Pines itself was a village forgotten. Time eddied and swirled and sometimes bumped into it, but never stayed long and never left much of an impression. For hundreds of years the village had nestled in the palm of the rugged Canadian mountains, protected and hidden, and rarely found except by accident. Sometimes
Sample complete. Ready to continue?